Happy day, everybody. This is Orekoya Olusegun, Mathematics Fundamentals on YouTube. Today, we are taking a topic under mathematics, and that topic is on undefined function. Now, what do we mean by undefined function? Let's say you have a rational function q of variable x is defined as f of variable x divided by g of variable x. This particular function will become undefined. That means we cannot have an expression for it under the condition that g of x must never be equal to 0. Under the condition that this g of x must not be equal to 0. So that means q of x become undefined when the denominator, when the denominator g of x is equal to 0. Like for instance, now we have an instance that let's say we have f of x, let's say is 3x squared all over x minus 1. This particular function become undefined when this denominator become 0. So in that situation, we say f of x is undefined when the denominator x minus 1 is equal to 0. That means it will be undefined when the value of x is equal to 1. So that means if you put 1 here, 1 minus 1, that will give you 0. In mathematics, anything divided by 0 become undefined. So that's the idea of undefined. Another aspect of undefined is that if you have f of x is equal to square root of function g of x, if function g of x is less than 0, that is negative, then function f of x is undefined. Undefined in the sense that we cannot find the square root of a negative number. What we are going to be having is a complex number. So this particular one is undefined. Is undefined when g of x is equal to 0. No, when g of x is less than 0. Like for instance, when we have f of x is equal to let's say we have x minus 3, where x minus 3 less than 0. In that case now, this function become undefined when x is less than 3. So that means if you put 0 here, 0 minus 3, square root of 0, 0 minus 3 give you minus 3, and square root of minus 3 is undefined. You are going to be having a complex number. This is the fundamental idea of what undefined is all about. Now, let's consider this particular problem. The problem says determine the values of x, the value of values of x for which the following functions are undefined. We are given these three functions. So let's start. For the function number 1, we are given x squared minus 3x plus 1 divided by x minus 2. So this function become undefined when this denominator become 0. So it become undefined when we say x minus 2 is equal to 0. That means x is equal to 2. So that means when you put the value of 2 here, 2 minus 2 gives you 0. Anything divided by 0 is undefined in mathematics. So the domain of this function, when the function is undefined, is when x is equal to 2. And then this question number 2 that we have here, 5x divided by 3x squared minus 17x plus 10. Now, how do we know when this particular rational function 5x divided by 3x squared minus 17x plus 10 is undefined? When do we know when it is undefined? The condition is that we set this denominator to 0. So we have 3x squared minus 17x plus 10 is equal to 0. Now, we need to find the value of the domain x for which the function is undefined. Here now, the coefficient of x squared is 3. So we normally want to factorize this quadratic expression. So we use the coefficients in front of this x squared to multiply 10. So we have 3 times plus 10. We have to consider the sign in front of them. That will give us a plus 30. So now we now consider what are the two numbers we multiply to give us a plus 10 and to give us plus 30, and we had them give us a minus 17. So two numbers that we multiply to give us a plus 30 and we multiply to give us minus 17 is going to be minus 15 and minus 2. When we add them together, minus 15 minus 2 give us minus 17, and minus 15 times minus give us plus 30. So in a nutshell, we are going to replace this minus 17 with minus 15 and minus 2. So we now have 3x squared minus 15x minus 2x. Minus 15x minus 2x now is this minus 17x, then plus this 10 is equal to 0. So we factorize these terms out and this times 2. So here, what is common here is 3x. So we have 3x brackets x minus 5. Whatever you have here, quickly add it to this place. So think of what you use to multiply this to give us this. That will give us a minus 2 is equal to 0. So we now have 3x minus 2 is equal to 0, or x minus 5 is equal to 0, which implies, carry this minus 2 to that side, we have 3x is equal to 2. This minus becomes plus when you take it to the other side. So divide both sides by 3 to get the x. So x is equal to 2 over 3. Carry this minus 5 to this side, it will become 5. So x is equal to 5. So in a nutshell, this particular function becomes undefined when the domain of x are 2 over 3 or x is equal to 5. So that means if you put 5 anywhere you have here, everything here becomes 0. Anything divided by 0 give us 0. If you put your x to be 2 over 3, anywhere you see x here, by the time you evaluate, you are still going to have 0. Anything divided by 0 will be undefined in mathematics. Now we move down to the third question. The third question is this: for what value of this domain x is x squared minus 5x minus 6 is undefined? Under what condition? And the condition for the square root of a number to become undefined is that whatever that is here must be less than 0, that is negative. So we say x squared minus 5x minus 6 must be less than 0, so that we can have a negative under the square root sign. So because the square root of a negative number will give us a complex number, so this function becomes undefined under this condition. So now what we are going to do concerning this situation is to set this to be equal to 0 first. So we have x squared minus 3x minus 6. Set this function to be equal to 0 so that we can easily factorize. When we factorize this one, what are the two numbers we multiply to give us minus 6, and we add them together to give us minus 3? We know that we can have minus 2 minus what are we going to multiply here to give us minus 6, and we add them here to give us this. So we can have minus 6 and plus 1. So minus 6 plus 1 will give us minus 5. Minus 6 times plus 1 give us minus 6. So we are going to have, we will replace minus 6 plus 1 with this minus 5x. So we have x squared minus 6x plus x minus 6 is equal to 0. So we factorize this out, and this. Here, the factors is x. So we have x minus 6. Whatever you have there, quickly repeat it here. Think of what you put here to give us this one out. That will be 1 is equal to 0. So in a nutshell, we have x plus 1 is equal to x plus 1 is equal to 0, or x minus 6 is equal to 0, which imply x is equal to minus 1 or x is equal to 6. Since we are dealing with inequality, we know that the coefficient of x squared here is positive. When the coefficient is positive, the coefficient of the highest power of the variable in the quadratic equation, when the coefficient is positive, then the graph will be U-shaped. If the coefficient here is negative, the graph will be N-shaped. So if you want to plot this graph now, the domain is on this horizontal axis, and the codomain, which is y, is on the vertical axis. So we put this point on the x-axis. So this plus 6 will be to this side of the graph, and this minus 1 is to this graph. You can see the approximate distances from 0. This one is further from 0 compared to this. Since the coefficient here is positive, the graph will be U-shaped graph, in such a way that the value of y in this place, the value of y for this region is positive because it's on the positive side of the Cartesian coordinates system. So y, the value of y along this region will be greater than 0. The value of y along this region will also be greater than 0. But the value of y between this place and this place will be less than 0. So the value of y within this place will be y less than 0. And since our question is dealing with less than, that means we are taking the range of values of the domain x within this region shaded here, and the domain, they are within this side of the x-axis, and they are bounded by -1 less than the range of values of x, then less than 6. So if you look at this one now, 0 is within the range because on your x-axis we have 0, -1 is here and 6 is here, so 0 is between them. If you substitute 0 here in this place, we are going to have -6, and square root of a negative number will give us a complex number undefined. So this is how, I mean, to handle fundamental cases on the on the situation when we want to find the range of values of the codomain of a function, when that function will be undefined. Thank you so much. Please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and click on the notification button to have more of my video. Once again, this is Orekoya Olusegun, Physics Mathematics Fundamental on YouTube. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.